Welcome to the treasure trove of folk tales, a magical collection of stories that have inspired generations. Embark on a mythical journey with heroes, fairies, and enchanting creatures, opening the door to a world of imagination and emotion.
The story of the Barber's sixth brother. Once upon a time, in a large city in Persia, there lived a man who looked haggard and thin, but whose eyes held traces of a glorious past. He was often seen sitting by the mossy old walls, whispering his life story to anyone who would listen. He was the sixth brother of the famous Barber, a strange, talkative man who once drove the royal palace crazy with his talkativeness. I, the sixth brother, was not like my brothers. I was once a wealthy merchant, with a large shop right in the middle of the central market of the city of Balk, where people from the east to the west gathered to trade. For a long time, I lived in luxury, with servants waiting on me, and warehouses filled with fabrics, perfumes, and gems from India, China, and even faraway Nubia. But fate is a tease. One morning, as I sat in my shop, a strange foreign man appeared. He wore a white robe, his face covered, revealing only his cold gray eyes, like the desert sand. He admired some jewelry and asked me in a whisper, like the desert night wind, "Do you want to be 10 times richer?" Though I had traded with strange people, I had never heard a sentence so enchanting and dangerous. But greed clouded my reason. He told me about a treasure in an ancient underground temple, hidden under the ruins of a cursed city 5 days' journey to the south. I left with him, and that was when my life began to slide into danger, magic, and blood. The Temple of Darkness, and the curse of the red snake. We crossed the burning desert, entering a dense forest shrouded in red mist. Strange creatures lived there, silent, white owls as large as men, monkeys that spoke and sang dark songs in the night. The man I now knew his name was Ashmur was not afraid. He led me to a huge stone gate carved with ancient symbols. As he chanted an incantation, the ground shook. A stone door opened, revealing a spiral staircase that led down into the dark, bottomless depths of the earth. Below was another world, a temple of black jade, where light was provided only by magically glowing rubies. Ashmur showed me a locked ironwood chest. When I opened it, a stream of red smoke spewed out like a dragon's fire, and from the smoke, a giant red snake appeared, eyes like hellfire, voice like thunder echoing through 1,000 years. "Whoever wakes me from my eternal sleep will pay with his soul." I was terrified, but Ashmur seemed to have known. He immediately poured a bottle of black water on me. My whole body turned to stone, unable to move, only hearing Ashmur's creepy laughter. "You are the sacrifice for me to retrieve the red blood." Heart jade, the soul of the red snake. Escaping the curse and the journey of hiding in all directions for 3 days and 3 nights. I was locked in a petrified body. In the pitch-black darkness, I heard someone whispering. It was the voice of a young woman. Her name was Zainab. Her soul was imprisoned in the temple 300 years ago. She was a priestess, betrayed. She used the power of her soul to break the curse and help me escape. But to be free, she needed me to destroy the snake eye, the heart gem that Ashmur held. Thus began the most dangerous and thrilling journey of my life. I escaped from the temple, crossed the swamps of death, fought the sleeting dogs, escaped from prison in a floating fortress in the sky, survived 7 attempts on my life by shadowless assassins, controlled by Ashmur himself, who was slowly becoming a demon. In every land I passed through, from the floating city of Zamar on the sea, to the desert of Sod where the ghost caravan lived, I followed Ashmur's trail and learned magic, cunning and courage to one day fight him again. From the moment I escaped from the Red Snake's temple, I was no longer the wealthy merchant I once was. I am a person who is being hunted by an ancient witch who is slowly turning into a demon, and at the same time, a person who carries the mission of liberating a soul that has been sealed for 300 years. Zainab. Zainab exists in my mind, like a voice echoing from another dimension, always warning and guiding me away from deadly traps. Her words are gentle, sad, but filled with the power of someone who once held a sacred duty. I wandered through the deserts of Rub al-Khali, until I came across a strange caravan, the Shadow Brigade, composed of masked men who never revealed their faces. They spoke only in a mournful song. Somehow, they recognized the breath of magic in me, and allowed me to join them as I crossed the cursed land, Sara Almat, where no one returns alive. In Sara Almat, the sand was not sand, but the ashes of human bones. Trees grew upside down from the earth, and every night the wind sang a tune that drove me almost insane. I witnessed in the darkness, people gradually turning to stone, not because of death, but because of the fear of transformation. There, I encountered Ashmur for the first time, in his new form, a being half man, half shadow. He appeared in black smoke, his eyes burning like hellfire. "You are still alive," his voice hissed. "Then I will kill you with the fear you have never known." And he summoned the seven, a monster created from the seven fears of mankind: betrayal, death, oblivion, imprisonment, despair, insanity, and regret. I could not fight with force, only with reason. With Zainab's help, I spoke the ancient names, dispelling each form, until the monster crumbled to dust, and Ashmur retreated once more in a puff of smoke. From there, the chase between Ashmur and I continued through the strangest lands of the East, the Valley of the Howling Winds, where the dead do not rest but turn into howling winds. The Cloud Fortress, a floating citadel, visible only on the night of the blood moon, where I had to steal the Mirror of Revelation to see where Ashmur was hiding, and the Soul Market, where the dead and the living trade memories, where I must trade half my lifespan to obtain the map to the Soul Cave, where the red-blooded heart gem is kept. The final battle in the Soul Cave. After many dangers, I reached the Soul Cave. Ashmur is there, preparing to perform the ritual that will unite him with the heart gem, which will make him immortal and rule the world of darkness. Zainab, her soul now weak, is only able to delay him for a few moments. I step into the middle of the ritual. The whole cave is ablaze with red light. The souls of the dead fly out across the cliffs. Ashmur is no longer human. He has become the humanoid shadow. We fight not only with swords and magic, but with memories. Every blow I inflict on him is a period of honesty, a mistake I have overcome. He strikes back with lies, betrayal, and hatred of the world. Finally, I used the heart gem, destroying the very source of his power. But at the cost of the cave collapsing, Zainab sacrificed herself to get me out of there. The last time I saw her, she smiled. "You have set me free. As for you, live, even in poverty, rather than die in the illusion of wealth." When I woke up, I found myself withered and exhausted, lying on the shore. No one believed what I said. I returned to the city, where my wealth had been taken by others. My brothers, especially the talkative Barber, laughed at me for telling fantasies. I was not sad, because I knew I had seen things no ordinary person could know. I lived like a beggar, but at night, in my dreams, I saw Zainab smiling among the stars. Shahrazada smiled and continued, "Your Majesty, that is the bitter and dangerous story of the sixth brother, ending in silence and poverty. But the heart still carries in it unforgettable memories of a journey between life and death, magic and betrayal. But if you want to hear a completely different story, full of laughter, surprises, and situations that are both funny and sad, please listen to the story of the tailor, an ordinary man suddenly caught up in a strange chain of events, where each small mistake leads to an unexpected twist.